explorers, it's Miss Sheree here at the Northville Public Library. For the past couple weeks, we've read various stories about different cultures as a part of Multicultural History Month. This week, we'll be learning about Native American history. In this book, called Fry Bread, a Native American family story. This book is a little bit different. It's told as a poem, but inside this story, we'll learn about the Native American culture and how they make a delicious treat called fry bread. Fry Bread, a Native American family story, written by Kevin Noble Maillard and illustrated by Juana Martinez Neal. Fry bread is food. Flour, salt, water, cornmeal, baking powder, perhaps milk, maybe sugar, all mixed together in one big bowl. Have you ever baked or fried something with a family member? Looks like these kids are joining in to help. Fry bread is shape. Hands mold the dough, flat like a pancake, round like a ball, or puffy like Nana's softest pillow. All these kids are joining in to help make the dough. Looks like it's getting pretty messy. Fry bread is sound. The skillet clangs on the stove. The fire blazes from below. Drop the dough in the skillet. The bubbles sizzle and pop. There are lots of things that make noise when they cook, like hearing something fry on the stove or bake in the oven. Fry bread is color. Golden brown, tan, or yellow, deep like coffee, sienna, or earth. So fry bread comes in various colors. Once you fry it on the stove, it can be tan or brown, but it still looks like everyone's enjoying it. Fry bread is flavor. See beans or soup, smell tacos, cheese and vegetables, delight in honey and jam. Rise to discover what brings us together. Now that the fry bread is done, they can add some toppings on top. Look, they're even added some toppings like you would on a taco. Cheese, corn, lettuce. I even see some cherry jam, so it can be salty or sweet. Fry bread is time. On weekdays and holidays, supper or dinner, powwows and holidays, moments together with family and friends. Everyone's enjoying the fry bread, and they're all sitting at the table together, much like we would do on Thanksgiving or Christmas. Fry bread is art. Sculpture, landscape, portrait, our daily craft, shared from teacher to student, a cycle of heritage and fortune. In this picture, the illustrator shows us that Native American history, there's lots of teachings passed down from generation to generation, like basket weaving or doll making. Fry bread is history, the long walk, the stolen land, strangers in our own world. With unknown food, we made new recipes from what we had. In this picture, we see a grandfather and a grandmother sharing their history with some children. So they're passing it on. Fry bread is place. Alaska, Kansas, all the way to Maine, down to Delaware, on to Georgia, over to Oklahoma, Colorado, and California. Cities and lands we call home. Fry bread is nation. In this page, the illustrator shows us there are hundreds and hundreds of Native American tribes. Some, like the Navajo or the Sioux, the Apache or the Sac and Fox, they all have different names. Fry bread is everything. Round, flat, large, small, north, south, east, west, brown, yellow, black, or white, familiar and foreign, old and new. We come together. Fry bread is us. We are still here, elder and young, friend and neighbor. In this picture, we see a bunch of family members joining together. Old and young, grandparents, even small babies, even a pet cat. We strengthen each other to learn, change, and survive. Looks like this baby's trying to sneak an extra piece of fry bread. Fry bread is you. It looks like he finally got his tasty treat. He's enjoying his fry bread. In this book, there's also a recipe on how to make fry bread. Isn't that great? Fry bread looks delicious, and I would love to try to make this and add some taco toppings. Sounds pretty tasty to me. There are lots of different cultures that you can explore through books at the library, much like this one. I hope you enjoyed this tale, and I hope when you check out this book that you try to make your own fry bread. See you next time.
We just finished reading the story Fry Bread, which is a Native American story which they made a delicious treat called fry bread. So for today's craft, we will be making our own skillet with our own piece of fry bread inside, just like in the story. So you're going to pull out all the things that you need for this craft, including some glue. You will need this kind of glue instead of the glue stick, which will work better, or tape, a pair of scissors, and some markers. In your brown paper bag, you will find a piece of brown, tan, or yellow felt, a white circle or paper plate. You will need some scissors, and you will find your pan handle to your skillet. And then at the very bottom of your bag, you might find some Thanksgiving treats, like this Pete the Cat card or sticker. I hope you enjoy them. The first step is to get out your markers and color your pan handle. I'm going to choose the color gray. You can also choose black or brown, or if you want to make it a unrealistic funky color, you can make it rainbow, blue, whatever you want. So I'm just going to color this whole thing. There we go. I've colored my whole skillet handle gray. The next step is to switch out the pan handle for your skillet in your pan. And I'm also going to color that gray. So I'm just going to take my time and cover the whole thing. And again, you don't have to do it the same color that I did. You can pick any color you want. It can be realistic, like brown or black or gray, or it can be unrealistic. You can have a polka dot or a rainbow tone. You just want to make sure you want to color the whole thing. So, get rid of all my white spots, and it's done. Now comes the easy part. We're just going to glue our pan handle to our pan. Easy peasy. So get out that glue, and you're just going to put a little bit of glue on this end of your pan handle. Not this end, but this end. And then I'm going to take my white circle, white paper plate, whatever you have, and press it down and hold it for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now I think it's stuck. There we go. Now the next part is going to be pretty tricky. This part you might need a grown-up's help. But you're going to take your brown felt, and this is going to be our fry bread. And then get a dark marker. And this might be brown or black or dark blue. Just make sure it's a dark enough color to where you can see what you draw. And we are going to draw our piece of fry bread. Now fry bread can have many shapes. It doesn't have to be a perfect circle. So I'm going to take my brown marker and I'm going to go right up to the edge of my felt, and I'm just going to make like a wavy, bumpy shape. And there's my piece of fry bread. And I used a dark marker so that I can see on the felt what I drew. Or you can take your felt and fold it in half like a taco. Make sure it's pretty even. Fold it in half like this. And then draw your fry bread shape on one side. So again, I'm going to take my marker, go up to the edge, and draw a squiggly fry bread shape. And it could be lumpy like a cloud. So there's my fry bread shape. So now I have two choices. Because felt can be pretty tricky to cut if you're not used to cutting. So this is the part where you might need a grown-up's help. You can take your scissors, keep this folded in half, and cut that way. Or you can take your scissors and cut the larger way. I'll show you both. So here I have my brown felt and it's folded in half. I'm going to take my scissors along the folded part and I'm going to start cutting. So I'm going to take my time or ask a grown-up for help. And I'm just going to follow the lines that I drew. The trickiest part is holding the felt together and following the lines while you cut. So take your time or see if there's a grown-up available to help you cut this out. And I want both of my pieces together like a sandwich while I cut. It can be pretty tricky, but once you have that folded and cut, you can open it up, and there you have your fry bread. It's nice and lumpy. There you go, you have one piece of fry bread. Or you can do it this way, and you can just cut it out along the line. So you just have to take one hand and hold it tight, and the other hand is going to follow the lines that you drew. Take your time, watch your fingers. Go all the way around your piece of felt. Right, so that was the second way to cut your fry bread. So once you decide or get a grown-up to cut it out for you, You can either choose the folded way, or you can choose this way. Either way, you're going to open your fry breads back up, and you're going to flip it over so that way you don't see your marker spots. So flip it like a pancake. Once you have that done, you're going to get your glue back out, and you're going to smear some right on your skillet. Right on top. Now I'm going to take my fry bread piece, almost looks like a pancake, right? And I'm going to stick it right inside my skillet. And I'm going to press, smush it, smush it, smush it. Make sure it's really stuck on there. And there's my fry bread on my skillet. And just for fun, I'm going to give my fry bread a face just to make him look cute. Give him some little crunchy pieces because he's frying in the skillet. And some details. And you can do this too, or you can leave it plain. Go if you're going to choose to add some details, try and make sure you use maybe like a black or a brown marker. So you can see it and it'll draw well on top of your felt. And there is my fry bread on my own personal skillet. I hope you enjoyed this craft, and I hope you take the time during the holidays to cook with your family. I can't wait to see your creations and to read with you next week. See you next time.